Do people in this generation just not go on dates anymore?
Having one of those days where I'm just so sad and lonely about the fact that I've never had a boyfriend, I haven't had my first kiss.
My late 20s going into my early 30s has definitely been one of the loneliest periods of my life.
Another year of me wondering, will it ever be my turn?
The female loneliness epidemic. Women enter no man land. Like the video, subscribe, stay on the path of progress. Let's get into it.
I love those special little moments where I'm feeling lonely, and so I determined that the best course of action would be to isolate myself, because that ought to help.
Can I just be real for a second?
Yeah.
I'm tired of being an independent girly. I'm not talking about buying my own or paying my own bills. I ain't asked about all that stuff. I don't want presents. I don't want gifts. I don't want to be bought shit. I am tired of coming home to an empty home after I've had a really fucking day and not having someone to just be my safe space and just be my space away from the world and all of the fucking stupid adult shit I need to do and all the personal admin I need to get done and everything that's just overwhelming, and just someone to say that I'm doing good enough, and just someone to, the world just stops with them. Or even when I've had a really great day and I have someone to tell, someone just to say I'm doing good enough. Oh, gangster.
Just turned 30, huh? Oh boy. If women did not date unless they had this mindset, the mindset of wanting to settle down and find a good man, then there would be no problems in the dating world whatsoever. Genuinely, there wouldn't be. If they only dated the men that were looking for long-term relationships, looking to start a family with them, all of these relationship problems we have today would be gone. Just like that. But it's the fact that this mindset only pops up when they're like 30, 32, 33, something like that. So all of your youthful, most beautiful years are in your past, and you gave them to the random chads that you saw. Why would a man want to take you seriously if that's the case? Let me clarify this. Why would a good man want to take you seriously when you did that in your past? Because of course there's going to be a simp that will wife you up. Of course there is. If women around the world collectively decided that they will not date men unless the men are taking them seriously, aka something like marriage, putting a ring on it, all of the dating problems would evaporate instantly.
So no hate, but I personally don't understand how people can be single or like not go on a single date in over like 2 months. Because trust, I cannot go without it for like more than 48 hours. Are y'all okay?
Yeah, that's a you problem. This is so crazy, man, because so many women wouldn't be able to last a day in a man's shoes. Like, truly, they wouldn't be. Because if you took this exact same woman, put her in the shoes of the average man today, who's on his celibacy grind and hasn't been with a chick for years, they would not be able to handle it at all.
These days, being alone hits different. You know, I'm in my 40s.
Oh, boy.
And it's like, I'll probably be alone forever now, you know?
Yep.
Never gonna get married.
I get really lonely. And I don't mean to like post this to be like, wow, look at me. I just like, I know there's other people that feel similar situations as me, and I don't know, sometimes I just get really in my head and I get super overwhelmed and I wonder like, when is it actually gonna happen for me? And it's one of those things that's like so out of your control that, I don't know, it's just like, I'm just sick of being alone. And it's been a really long time, and I think it doesn't help that I've just like lost a lot of people in my life recently, and it just feels like, it just makes me feel like I'm not worthy. I don't know. I think sometimes we see so much stuff on social media and on the internet, and it makes us feel even more isolated because we're constantly comparing ourselves. But I just wanted to remind you that if you also feel this way, you're not alone. I don't know wherever you are or what you're going through, but at least know that I'm in the trenches with you, and I am doing so much better in my life right now, just like mentally, physically. And I still have days where I feel really sad and I feel like this, and it's super frustrating.
So here's the thing about female loneliness. It's very different than male loneliness, okay? So the thing is, women don't feel the true loneliness until they're much older, truly. For younger women that feel lonely, Them feeling lonely means, oh, they only got 5 beta bobs in their DMs giving them attention. She has 10 female friends bigging up her ego on Instagram, only getting invited out once a week. That's what a lonely young woman is. So they really don't experience true loneliness until they're much older. Like much older. And still, it won't be the same compared to male loneliness because men are truly lonely. 0 DMs, 0 messages, no one checking up on you. Like, 0 alone. And older women, when they don't have children, a man, or anything like that, they start to taste a little bit of what the average guy today is going through. But it's still not the same because at any second, she can get on social media, she can get on a dating app, and there will be at least some guy that will go out with her. Some guy that will give her attention. The thing is, a lot of those guys are not very desirable in her eyes. That's more what it is.
I think it might be time to normalize being single and alone. I'm really sick of people making it sound like, you know, in order to be happy, like in your future and everything else, you have to find your person, because people will be like, oh, don't worry, you'll find someone eventually, or something along those lines. And it's like, okay, but it's okay if I don't also. And by you saying that kind of makes me feel worse about not finding someone. And like, I shouldn't. Like, it's absolutely okay. Some people don't find their person in life. A lot of people don't. And I feel especially nowadays with the way things have changed. So maybe let's just, you know, get rid of the stigma that you have to be with someone and just embrace being single, because it's okay.
No, the only reason people want to get rid of the stigma around being single is because they feel bad about being single. It's a cope and they just don't want to be shamed for it. That's really what it is. This is basically the same thing as fat acceptance. People want you to deny objective reality, because do not get it twisted. If you are not able to find that long-term girlfriend, that long-term boyfriend that will give you family, that is a genetic fail. You have failed. But that's the thing in our society. We want everything to be so cushy and warm, no matter how bad the mistakes are.
I'm not sure why this bothers so many people, but why do you care if someone's talking about their healing journey? Like, why does it bother you? Why are you so bitter? Please explain it to me, because I'm on my healing journey myself. I struggled way too long alone in silence to not celebrate the fact that I made it to the other side, and now I'm healing every single day, trying to become a better, happier person. If that bothers you, maybe you should look internally instead of judging someone else.
Well, it's pretty vague, but I mean, if you're putting yourself out there online, you are going to face criticism, period. There will be trolls, there will be people that disagree with you. I mean, this is the nature of the internet. It's a pretty simple one. I mean, if you don't want people commenting on your personal life, don't put it out there for everyone to comment on.
Anyone want to come down to Florida with me? Pretend like you're my boyfriend?
No.
Just make nice around my family?
No, thank you.
Do people in this generation just not go on dates anymore? Like, I genuinely feel like anytime I find a guy that I'm interested in, they'll never make that full gesture to go on a date. Like, they'll say they want to go on a date or we should go on a date, but they don't actually plan and ask to go out on a date. Like, they don't make the full effort. They're just words, they're just lingering words in the air. Nothing ever happens. I don't know, I just feel like it's very sad. You know, like, I personally think it's because it's generation. Social media is so big, so there's so much variety out there. They see so many different people, so many different options, and they're like, okay, I don't want to be tied down to just one option, I want multiple. They want all the flavors of ice cream. But you know what? If you find one good flavor of ice cream, that will never let you down. That one flavor of ice cream, you can always count on that flavor of ice cream. Like, why wouldn't you want to have a little bit of that stability in your life? You know, anytime things go bad, you're always going to have that ice cream to make you feel good. And people don't even really want that anymore, don't really care to want that, or don't really try. Or if they do, it's rare. I hope it magically changes. I can't see it changing anytime soon, but I hope this world shakes up a little bit, because it's getting kind of sad. It is sad.
I tend to agree with this one, actually. You should be pushing for the date sooner rather than later. If you're obviously interested in this woman, you're in the same area, invite her out. Don't just be having like a pen pal. I don't understand it. This is just, it's a waste of time. Why do you do stuff like this? You're just giving her endless attention, and of course she'll take that because women love attention. Meanwhile, you're never showing your true intentions. Bro, it's an L for you. But with that being said, women can be more direct in this manner. Say she sends him a text, wow, I feel so lonely tonight. If that guy doesn't understand what that text means, he's a brother bozo. He doesn't get it.
Please don't catcall me unless you're attractive.
Wait, what did they say? Let's hear that again.
Please don't catcall me unless you're attractive. Unless you're a 7, 8, 9, or 10. If you're a 10, you're probably not catcalling. But don't do it. I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that unless you're sexy.
Bro, so much of this is just BS. You're saying, oh no, I don't want any male attention, but meanwhile, you're dressed like that. You're filming a TikTok. You're putting it up for the attention and validation from men. Oh yeah, but don't catcall her. She doesn't want any male attention. No. Bruv.
Anyone just cry because they just want to feel loved. They just want to find the one. Like, why am I never good enough? Why do guys just want the dirt? Like, Lord, help me. I'm 20 years old. I know. Okay, 20. I got a whole life ahead of me. I just want to find one. I thought I was going to get married young and have kids. The girl things.
If women don't want to be valued for just their bodies, then offer value outside of your body. It is that simple. What else does he have to latch onto? And no, you can't say your gleaming personality. No. What is something tangible that he can latch onto? And that's really what feminism did to women. It stripped away all of the feminine qualities that your average woman had 60 years ago. It's so wild how all of this stuff worked out. Like, in the beginning, feminists didn't want to be seen as, you know, just a body. They didn't want to be used for just their body. And then 60 years later, they stripped away all of the other characteristics that women had to offer to the point where they are essentially now just a body with an office job. Wild, bro. Wild.
There was a study by Morgan Stanley Financial. They did you can go find it too. It's online. It's called The Rise of the She Economy. In that sort of research, they postulate that by 2030, women between the ages of 25 and 44, something like 52%. I hope I'm getting my numbers right. Something like 45 to 52%.
It's over half.
Yeah, over half.
It is going to be over half
of women of marriageable age will be single for the rest of their lives. They will not reproduce unless they get unless they get artificial insemination, but they will be unmarried and childless during those ages by 2030, which is like a very, very steep incline. In fact, they are so certain of this that they did this research on Morgan Stanley so their investors would know what to invest in the coming decade.
And that is a really big deal because there's a lot of money behind that. They're basically trying to predict the future so they can make more money. So this is serious. Here's the thing, why so many women are single? I mean, one, just take my entire channel as evidence for this. It's all the stuff we always talk about. It's the social media blowing up the ego. It's the dating apps blowing up the ego, giving them seemingly endless options. So when one tiny thing doesn't work out, they just swipe to the next guy. It's the hyperabundance, the hypergamy, the hyperfeminism. I mean, the minds of today's modern women are so delusional. Truly, just delusional. They're so hyped up on modern think and modern technology that their dopamine receptors are truly just fried. They are totally fried. So not only is it more difficult for women to date, because don't get it twisted, having hyperabundance is an issue. It actually is, because it's hard to select that one thing that you want, especially when it's so easy to just rotate to the next guy. But with all of this, it makes them even more difficult to date because of all of the brainwashing they've been through. So the actual good guys that want to take a woman seriously, they're like, eh. It's like the good guys are getting the ick. They're like, eh. That is most men's experience dating modern women. Just, alright. Yeah, man, it's like, what can you do? You can try and have conversation with these women. You can try and teach them about all this stuff. You can teach them in the ways that they're being lied to, but they don't listen to any of it. Not an ounce. The smart ones will, though.
If you are an attractive person, and when I say attractive, I mean really attractive, did you know that you just won't get chased by men? Like, men will not chase you.
What?
They won't approach you. They won't really do much with you. And I know this is gonna mess with your head when I say this, but this only means that you are very attractive.
Bro.
Because men will approach women they deem to be kind of easy. They know that they can only go after a woman that is someone on the same physical level and league as them. If they deem you to be so attractive and just completely out of their league, then you're going to intimidate them enough to not approach you. So if you don't get approached a lot by men in clubs or whenever you're even like just going out grocery shopping or at school, don't worry, because you are actually very attractive to the point to which you literally repel men because they're scared of you and they know that you're either taken or you are going to very much reject them.
There's definitely some truth to what she's saying. The women that are in the 5 to 7 range really do get the most male attention. They really do. And they get the most attention because they seem attainable. The guys see them as something that is actually attainable. Something that backs us up that's also interesting is, look at all of the female streamers of today, like all of the really popular ones. None of them are like drop dead gorgeous. None of them are a 10 out of 10. None of them. All of them have that like girl next door kind of look. They have this kind of semi-plain Jane look to them, and all of them gain that popularity in part because of their looks, if not a big part because of their looks. But it's definitely not true that the most attractive women, you know, the 8s, 9s, and 10s, that they never get approached and never get talked to. That's just, I mean, that's just BS. They get attention as well, but not as much as the, you know, more attainable women.
I just want to be someone's first choice. Like, I know there's always going to be prettier girls out there, and it's so accessible now with all these apps, but it's like...
How about don't post your loneliness to social media? There's a good start for you. Good luck.
I am so incredibly tired of dating.
Okay.
I hate always being the girl that's too much. Or at least feeling that way, because really, I'm not. Okay. Just managed to find all of the ones that are, seemingly emotionally unavailable or just a jerk. Now, I'm not saying they all are, but it sucks. Dating these days sucks. It's hard.
You're the side girl.
I'm tired of it. So tired. But here's just staying out there and trying again, because for some reason I haven't given up completely. So, here we go.
Yeah, to translate that, she's getting endlessly ghosted. No man wants to take her seriously. I wonder why. It couldn't be anything we saw in the video, obviously, right? The double nose ring, the crying online, the XSLBs, I mean... Alright.
Women say they hate all men, like, I don't give a like, I don't care. You should. Yeah, absolutely.
Nobody cares what ugly chicks think.
I'll never say, like, oh, not all men. Like, I do think it's all...
You fat.
Ouch. I've said before, they're all guilty until proven innocent in my eyes.
I think they should start in prison and work their way out.
Ancus Marcius built the first prison. A man.
Isn't it just crazy how women can say this stuff? And there's zero repercussions. They're literally reinforced for saying this. They're saying, oh yeah, you go queen. You're totally right. All men are trash. It's such a huge yikes, man. Misandry is so casual today that seeing clips like that doesn't bother the average person. It really doesn't. It's crazy, dude.
Really pretty girls usually don't get hit on.
Wait. Really pretty girls don't get hit on.
Does that mean I'm fucking ugly?
No, I don't blame men for not wanting to go up to women, because as a woman, it is equally as terrifying. There is no more humbling experience on this earth than complimenting a pretty girl. Because, let me tell you, I'm trying to make friends right now, and the easiest way to do that is to compliment them. And they're always genuine. But when I tell you guys today, I was walking by a girl on the sidewalk and I looked at her because she was gorgeous. And I was like, I just said, girl, you are so pretty. And she literally gave me the most disgusted look of my life. And I never know if it's like they think I'm ugly or they think I look disgusting. And I'm like, I'm so sorry that like I interfered in your existence. But like I would equally be as terrified to speak to women if I was a man, because that is terrifying. Like the look of disgust from a female, I think is like one of the most terrifying experiences to experience. She just looked at me and was like, she did not say anything. She literally just looked at me and had no earbuds in or anything. And I was like, that was my sign that I don't need to make friends that way or just never compliment them in that way again. I don't know what to do. I tried. However, men, you also need to grow a pair and just talk to the lady, okay? In the least creepy way possible.
Of course you had to end it with that. It's so funny with women that play for the other team, you know, they're interested in women, that they can actually start to resonate with what men go through. It's really funny, honestly. You know, when there's two women out on a date, you guys ever wonder, like, how does the bill get paid? Are you ever curious about that? Both of them fake going for their wallet and just kind of like wait for the other one to get it.
I will never understand how people are chronically in relationships. I just don't understand how you can find multiple people that you want to date. Because my picky ass over here has not found one singular man in 23 years that I want to be with. So like how girls are finding men back to back blows my mind.
So I'm just wondering, like, where are the men that are not afraid to be loved properly by a woman? Like, where are the men that aren't still hung up on their ex or the last person that hurt them and they so damaged that I have to pay for what they did? Like, where are the men that know how to properly love a woman and that are not afraid to enter into the best relationship that they've ever had? Like, do they not exist anymore? Are they just not single anymore? Are they just not any in Baltimore or Maryland? Because I can't do a long distance relationship. So the only option is to just be like, yo, just everybody leave me alone. Like, there's gotta be a few left. Like, I can't be the only one out here over 40 that is emotionally stable enough to be able to say, forget everything in my past. I can love you exactly the way that you deserve to be loved. But it's gotta be reciprocated. Everybody knows that. Like, I'm confused. I just feel like at this point I'm playing Where's Waldo? Where's Waldo, y'all?
So one thing I can agree with here, you should not be making your girlfriend or you should not be making your boyfriend pay for your past relationships. I can totally agree with that. This is not a gendered thing. You should not be making your girlfriend or your boyfriend pay for the past bad behavior in your past relationships. Dude, dating in your 40s must be a wasteland. Truly. All of those good guys that you could have a genuine emotional connection with are either married for the past 10 years or they're like permanent bachelors that don't want anything serious. So where are they? They're in your past.
Why are pretty women some of the loneliest people in this world? Let's talk about it. Women are some of the loneliest people in this world because when people meet you, they automatically start creating assumptions and dreams and fantasies that you have to fulfill based on your looks. They put you on a pedestal that you didn't ask to be there. And sometimes you attract people that just want to get to know you so they can find a flaw because there's no way that you are beautiful, kind, and intelligent. Women are some of the loneliest people in this world because you can't even complain about the problems that you experience because now they're calling you vain. One of the loneliest people in this world because sometimes isolation is protection. It's dangerous out there.
Okay, dude, so far, all of the women that have said, you know, attractive women are the most lonely, they don't get any attention, are they talking about themselves? Because so far, every woman that has said that is like average attractiveness. The truth is, valuable people do not get left alone. They don't.
So if you're ever wondering, why do your friends get approached but not you? Let me put it in perspective. Your friends may just seem to be the same level of attractiveness as the people that are hitting on them. But the
AKA,
number of attractive men that are on your level are so low to where those men are not going to approach you. There's a lot of men that are not attractive like you. So please, please, let's stop. If you don't get approached, it's because you're a baddie. It's because people are afraid of you and they're afraid to get rejected because you are that girl. Simple.
There are so many videos on TikTok right now about pretty privilege and how being beautiful gets you ahead in society. And I just want to say that all of those videos are such crap. Yes, being beautiful is very useful in society. Duh. We've known that since we were babies. But the so-called benefits of pretty privilege are just so vastly overstated on this app. With fillers and Botox and filters and Facetune even becoming increasingly accessible to more and more people, beauty is going to become more accessible online and in person. With beauty becoming more obtainable to the everyday person, the value of beauty and physical attractiveness will decrease.
Yeah, actually, good point. So again, this is all coming back to the same question. What else do you bring besides the beauty? You're correct, the beauty market has been diluted now. So what else are you doing to stand out in the market? What else are you bringing besides the beauty, besides the body? But I have a career in stock ETFs and Bitcoin. Okay, me too. What else you got?
Can we make 2025 the year that we stop asking women, why are you single? Because
No.
if I was to ask you, why are you in a relationship or why are you married? I don't think that many of you know the answer. I'm single because I'm not settling, but how many married people or people in relationships are doing exactly that?
Not settling isn't a flex. That's not a flex. Having high standards is not a flex. Can you actually get a man with those standards and keep that man with those standards? That is the flex. What is the problem with settling? What is the issue with that? Genuinely. If you're saying you settled, that means you found someone that is good enough for you. That means that is what that means. The thing is with a lot of these women, they are settling down with a man that is not their first choice. They have plenty of guys in their past that they're alpha widowed by. They have plenty of guys in their past that were that high value guy that they wanted to have a long-term relationship with, but it never worked out. So then when they get older, all of their options basically run out. So they have to settle for the beta bop. They have to. But this would not be a problem if she wasn't alpha widowed by all of these guys in her past. If she just tried to lock down one of those guys, there would be no issue. If she got a time machine, went in the past, and settled with one of those guys from her past, there would be no issue.
I think I'm quite lonely. And I feel really bad for saying that because I have friends. It's not that I don't have friends, but everybody grows up and has different interests, and I kind of don't know where I fit in anymore. It's 6:15. I am halfway ready for bed. I'm not really hungry. I don't think... How do you make friends in your 30s? And I do have friends. It's not that I don't have anyone to turn to, but where do I get hobbies? Where do I meet new people? How do you, if you're not married and you don't have kids, and I don't know, maybe I don't go out and drink a lot anymore, and I just don't know what. I sound really moody, and I also don't. I like to be quite upbeat, even though I am horribly depressed. But I don't know. I just feel really lost.
Get a hobby. Get some type of something that you're interested in. Join a club. Join a running group. Join a hiking club. Join some volleyball. Do something. Literally, just anything. I think that's a big issue with a lot of people, actually, is that they want friends, they don't have any friends, but at the same time, you don't have any hobbies. And if you do have hobbies, they're online. So to get out into the real world and make real world friends, do something physical. Again, if you're looking to date, like actually find a relationship, do something that's a little bit more gender neutral. Like I said before, like a volleyball, hiking, running club. If you're a man just looking for friends, get into some type of combat sport. Boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, karate, something, dude. Because you have a lot of people complaining about this exact thing, but that same amount of people aren't willing to do anything outside of their comfort zone. It's like, bro, just push yourself out that door. Go out and do it.
Men and women experience loneliness very differently. Men have a tendency to feel lonely because they don't have the options for partnership. Women feel as if the options are not the right ones for them. Which way do you feel? Do you agree with this as a man or a woman? How do you experience loneliness?
Yeah, it's like I was saying before, but women basically will not experience the same level of loneliness as men do. They just won't. For the most part.
I want to see what all the 40-year-old faces look like.
Hi, I'm 40. 40 is like the new 20, okay? Everything is better in your 40s.
No, it's not.
Everything.
Nope.
And I mean everything.
Cope.
So bring it on, 40. I just turned 40. Have a good day.
Oh my God. This is just cope feeding into the problem. This is not going to help any woman that is actually looking to settle down and have a relationship. It is just pure cope. Try and feel better about your situation instead of actually taking action to make your situation better. Bro, that's like women's TikTok advice in a nutshell.
Men can't believe that women are single by choice because men aren't single by choice.
What an interesting statement. I cannot wait to hear what one is basing that off of.
They may be finding women to go on dates with, but nothing's sticking.
Okay, well that happens for women as well. So what exactly is this leading up to?
And so they're lashing out at women saying things like, have fun being single or enjoy your cats.
Not all men say things like that.
Sir, that's the whole point, is that I am having fun being single and I love my cats.
So that means that one is single by choice, right? So why can a woman be single by choice, but not a man?
I also love my peace of mind, not having to be accountable to somebody who isn't really that interested. He's not interested in me and my life and things that I want and need.
And there it is. That is actually the reason why a lot of men are now choosing to remain single, for that very reason.
As men age alone, it is not good.
Oh, really?
And the men are not okay. But I'm finding that as I age, I am getting happier and happier with myself and my girlfriends and my family. And the idea of having to accommodate a man's insecurities or even securities is just less and less appealing.
And with that, one actually nailed the reason why a lot of men are also choosing to remain single, because oftentimes it's simply more peaceful. It's as simple as that.
Most of the time I love being single. I am very comfortable being single.
Most of the time.
But tonight I hung out with friends and I had a great time, and then I was driving home and I started feeling this like wave of depression and anxiety, and I wasn't really sure what it was related to or where it was stemming from. And then I got home and I felt like just so sad and lonely, and I walked into my empty apartment and I thought, God, I wish that I had someone who could just hold me right now. Like, I wish that I had someone who could just take care of me, because I have to take care of myself every single day and it's fucking exhausting. And I just want someone to take care of me every now and then.
Well, that's absolutely true. This is something actually my mom told me. She told me when you're in a good relationship, you are twice as happy and half as sad. Because when you actually have a good relationship and you're experiencing happy times, you're twice as happy because you're experiencing it with someone you love. And then on the flip side, if you are experiencing difficult times, you know, say someone in the family passes away, or you're just experiencing something difficult and depressing, you're half as sad because you have someone else to go through that with. And that's something a lot of people are missing out on, genuinely. Like, this entire loneliness epidemic, it's like, you know, the whole video title is Female Loneliness Epidemic, but for the men it's even worse. And for the end result, it's just going to be a lot of lonely, miserable people. It's just sad, honestly, when you really think about it. So many missed opportunities, so much missing out on life, and also missing out on human life. Because really, just think about it. Every single relationship that doesn't happen, that is 2 to 3 babies that are not being born. The whole thing is quite depressing, honestly, but we do need to talk about this stuff. Someone has to talk about these issues that we're facing. So that's the end of today's show. Like the video, subscribe, Path of Progress. I'll see you guys later.